In any industry that really leans on its machines to get the job done, there's this powerful strategy working behind the scenes, quietly keeping everything on track. It's called preventive maintenance. And today, we're going to dig into why it's not some optional extra, but an absolutely essential strategy for success.
Okay, to really get why this matters so much, let's kick things off with a question. Picture a busy factory floor. You've got the constant hum, the buzz, the clatter of machinery. In the middle of all that noise, what is the single most expensive sound you could possibly hear?
That's right, complete and total silence. Because that sudden, deafening quiet, that means something critical has just failed. It means production has ground to a halt, deadlines are suddenly at risk, and a very expensive clock has started ticking on some massive financial losses. That unexpected silence, well, that's the sound of a crisis.
And that crisis is what happens when you're stuck in a wait and fix mindset. It's a really high stakes gamble where the cost isn't just one repair bill. No, it's a domino effect that can ripple through your entire operation. Think about it. Unplanned downtime freezes everything. That immediately leads to missed deadlines, and you can bet some unhappy clients. Plus, emergency repairs are always more expensive. And the real kicker? Failing equipment can become a serious safety hazard for your team. It's just one failure setting off a whole chain reaction of bad news. But what if there was a different way, a smarter approach that actually puts you in control, letting you act before disaster even has a chance to strike? Well, that proactive strategy is exactly what we're talking about. Honestly, it's a concept we all get on a basic level. You don't wait for your car's engine to seize up before you finally decide to change the oil, right? You do it regularly to prevent that total meltdown. It's the exact same logic here. But in a factory, that engine could be worth millions, and when it fails, it impacts the entire company. The stakes are just so much higher. So it all boils down to a fundamental choice between two mindsets. Are you operating in reactive mode, constantly scrambling and putting out fires after they've already started? Or are you taking a preventive approach, inspecting and maintaining so there are no fires to begin with? It's really the difference between chaos and control. So, let's put an official name to it. Preventative maintenance is all about a scheduled, methodical process. It's the regular inspection, testing, cleaning, and calibration of all those critical components, your drives, PLCs, power supplies, and the key word here is before. You do all this before they even have a chance to fail. Okay, so why go to all this trouble? Why invest in this proactive approach? Well, because the payoff is huge. Let's break down the 4 major wins you get from making this strategy a priority. First off, your equipment just lasts longer. Simple as that. By catching and fixing tiny issues early on, you stop them from snowballing into a massive component failure that could take out the whole unit. You're basically protecting and maximizing the return on a very expensive investment. Win number 2. You are in control of your schedule. Maintenance happens when you plan for it, not in the middle of a critical, time-sensitive production run. This means your whole operation becomes more predictable, more reliable, and way more efficient because you're maximizing your uptime. Third, and this is a big one, you save a whole lot of money in the long run. I mean, a frantic middle-of-the-night emergency repair is always going to cost you more than a scheduled checkup. Fixing a small fault costs just a fraction of what it takes to replace an entire system. It's just smart math. And finally, maybe the most important win of all, you create a safer workplace. Equipment that's well maintained is far less likely to have dangerous electrical faults or malfunctions that could put your people at risk. And let's be honest, a safe workplace is a productive workplace, period. So the benefits are pretty clear, right? But what does this actually look like in practice? What are we really talking about doing? Let's quickly walk through the concrete steps involved. It's really just a methodical checklist. It starts with something simple but so crucial: cleaning out dust and debris, because heat is the enemy of electronics. Then you're inspecting all the connections and terminals for anything loose or corroded. Technicians will check key components that are known to wear out over time, like capacitors. They'll also verify that all the firmware and software is up to date and running smoothly. And finally, you test the whole system under a real-world load to make sure it performs exactly like it's supposed to. When you put all of this together, the conclusion becomes incredibly obvious. The choice between being reactive or preventative isn't just some small operational detail. It's a fundamental strategic decision about how you want to run your entire business. There's a simple line from the source material that just perfectly sums up the financial wisdom here. It says repairing minor faults is far cheaper than replacing full units. It's all about spending a little bit now to save an absolute fortune later.
So, as we wrap this up, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about for your own operations. Is your current strategy built around planning for consistent, reliable success? Or are you, maybe without even realizing it, just waiting to hear that inevitable and very expensive sound of silence?